Hello students, is the screen visible to you all? Is the screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today let's start with lecture number 15 from module 2. Before starting with today's session, let's have a glance upon what all we have covered in the previous sessions. In the previous session, we had discussed what is doubly reinforced beam section and what is its need or the necessity, why we are going to use doubly reinforced section. And along with that, we have discussed how to analyze ultimate flexural strength of doubly reinforced rectangular section beams. That means we have discussed how that doubly reinforced rectangular section can be bifurcated into two more parts and how to get the equation for moment of resistance of doubly reinforced section. So depending upon the previous theory, what we have discussed in the previous session, today we are going to solve few numerical examples on how to calculate the ultimate flexural strength of doubly reinforced rectangular section beams. So again the basic parameter remains same. The previously discussed how the bifurcation can be done from doubly reinforced rectangular section to two section, that is one is singly reinforced section and the other one is steel beam section. So we are going to consider the same theory background and we are going to solve the numerical examples today. So at the end of this session, the student should be able to analyze a particular rectangular beam section if it is doubly reinforced. So the student should be able to calculate the ultimate flexural strength, or if the moment is given, they should be able to calculate the load acting upon the beam. So let's start with the numerical examples. The first one, doubly reinforced beam section is 250 mm wide and 450 mm deep to the center of tensile reinforcement. It is reinforced with two bars of 16 mm diameter as compression reinforcement at an effective cover of 50 mm and four bars of 25 mm diameter as tensile steel. Using M20 grade concrete and Fe250 steel, calculate the ultimate moment of resistance of the section. So here what you are supposed to calculate is moment of resistance, MR. And the dimensions of the beam, they are being given. The dimensions of the beam, they are 250 mm wide and 450 mm deep to the center of tensile reinforcement. So let me consider this as B. 250 mm deep to the center of tensile reinforcement. That means this is effective depth, not overall depth. It is reinforced with two bars of 16 mm diameter as compression reinforcement. So, two bars of 16 mm diameter, this refers to as ASC. And at an effective cover of 50 mm. So, this is nothing but D dash. And four bars of 25 mm diameter, it is referring to AST. using M20 grade concrete, that is FCK. FCK is 20 Newton per mm square or 20 megapascal, what we can say. And Fe 250, that means Fy value is 250 megapascal. So calculate the moment of resistance. What we are supposed to calculate is Mu, that is ultimate moment of resistance. Ultimate moment of resistance we need to calculate. So let's list down the data at the first stage itself. So it is a doubly reinforced rectangular section. Along with this, it is better if you draw the sketch, that is rectangular section. As AST, there are 4 bars. And ASC, there are only 2 bars. So this is ASC, and all other things are being noted down here, that is breadth, overall depth, here AST is being calculated as 4 times the cross sectional area of 1 bar, that is pi by 4 into 25 square, and ASC is twice pi by 4 into 16 square, because 16 is the diameter of the compression steel, and Y2 because there are 2 bars in the compression zone. Now, given with these values, we are supposed to find out moment of resistance. So, in order to find out moment of resistance, Mu, we have already discussed in the previous session that here for the doubly reinforced section, moment of resistance Mu is equal to Mu1 plus Mu2. Mu1 plus Mu2. So, what is this Mu1? This Mu1 is with reference to the first section after bifurcating this doubly reinforced section. That is, it is the first section wherein we are going to consider only the part of tension reinforcement, that is a singly reinforced section. Mu1 is the moment carrying capacity of the singly reinforced section. And what is Mu2? Mu2 is the moment carrying capacity of the steel beam, which is, we are going to consider it as the second section. Already we have discussed in the previous session. So, in order to calculate Mu1, it is very similar to the calculations what we have done using singly reinforced section. That is, we are going to check the depth of neutral axis, whether the neutral axis lies in the flange or it lies in the, whether the neutral axis is, or depth of neutral axis XU is less than XU limit or more than XU limit or equal to XU limit. We are going to conclude whether the section is over reinforced. By checking the type of section, what we can do is we can use the different equations given in Annexure G of IS 6. So the same thing we are going to proceed with now. That is, in order to calculate one, whatever the requirements are there, we are going to calculate. And how to calculate Mu2? Mu2 we have already discussed. Mu2 is equal to FSC into ASC into D minus D dash. Already this equation is being given in IS 456 Annexure G. So mu2 is equal to FSC ASC into D minus D dash. Now let me check how to calculate this FSC and ASC. How to calculate FSC and ASC. What is this FSC? It is the stress in the compression zone or stress in the compression steel. This stress in compression steel is corresponding to a strain of, the value is being given in the code book. Let me show you here. Yes. FSC is the stress in compression reinforcement corresponding to a strain of 0.0035 into XU max minus D dash divided by XU. So the same equation will be using it here. So just make note sure that you are having the IS code book. Okay. Now, with this background, let's start to calculate mu1 and mu2. So in order to calculate mu1, as I told, we need to check whether the section is balanced, under reinforced or over reinforced. In order to check with that, let me calculate XU max first. Now here, the steel reinforcement is Fe250. The grade of steel is Fe250. So for Fe250, the XU max value is 0.53 D. For Fe250, the XU max value is 0.53 D. So using this value 0.53 into 450, we are going to get 35 mm. So this is the value of XU max. Now once this is XU max, XU by D is equal to 0.87 F by AS divided by 6 FCKBD. This equation we have it from the IS code book, as well as the compressive forces is equal to tensile forces. If we equate, we are going to get this equation. And since whenever we are bifurcating this doubly reinforced section into parts, let me consider only 2 reinforcements here out of 2. This 2 bars, I'll be mentioning it as AST1. I'll be mentioning this as AST1. So as I can mention this as AST1, here also in the equation, instead of AST, I'll be writing it as AST1 because it is corresponding to the singly reinforced section, that is first section in the doubly reinforced. So if I substitute this value, I'll be getting the value of XU. But do I know AST1? No. I don't know the value of AST1. I don't know the value of XU. I know XU max, but I don't know what exactly is XU. So how to proceed with? In order to compute this, what I can do is, here stress in the compression steel. Stress in compression steel, that is FSC, we need to calculate. We need to calculate FSC. How we can calculate FSC? I can write FSC is equal to this strain value, that is 0.0035 into XU max minus D dash divided by XU max into ES. Into ES. What is this ES? ES refers to Young's modulus of ES refers to Young's modulus of steel. So we can calculate this. XU max already we have calculated. ES, Young's modulus of steel, we can consider it as 2 power of 5 Newton per mm square as a standard value. So substituting this value, we can calculate the stress in the compression steel as 553.24 Newton per mm square. 553.24 Newton per mm square. But this value of FSC should never be greater than 0.87 Fy. The value of FSC should never be more than 0.87 Fy. So let's check whether this value of 553.24 is more or less or equal to 0.87 Fy. So let me calculate 0.87 Fy. It gives me around 217.5 Newton per mm square. It will give you the value of 217.5 Newton per mm square. So out of the two values calculated, let me consider the lowest one, that is 217.5 will be the FSC value. So henceforth, wherever we are substituting the value of FSC, you are going to substitute the lowest value, that is 217.5 Newton per mm square. Now let's calculate AST. Now AST2 is equal to FSC ASC divided by 0.87 Fy. Again, this is being given in IS code book. AST2 is equal to ASC FSC divided by 0.87 Fy. The same equation we are going to use it here. AST2 is equal to FSC ASC divided by 0.87 Fy. So FSC value is already been calculated and this we are going to use it, that is 217.5. ASC value is already given in the numerical, that is 402.12 and 0.87 is known. Fy value is given to us, that is 250 megapascal. So substituting all these values, I can get the value of AST2, that is 402.12 mm square. So if I know the value of AST2, I know one more equation, that AST, this AST which is already given in the numerical example, is equal to AST1 plus AST2. AST1 plus AST2. So already AST is given in the numerical example and AST2 we have calculated. So only the unknown is AST1, so we can calculate it as AST minus AST2 is equal to AST, which will give us 1561.38 mm square, which will give us the value of AST1 as 1561.38 mm square. So now we are given with this AST1. So we know the value of AST1, we know the value of AST2 and in turn AST. Now this value XU, already here the equation is being written, XU by D is equal to 0.5 AST1 divided by 0.36 FCK BD. Fy is known, AST1 is being calculated now, FCK is known, B and D are known, only the unknown is XU. So substituting in that equation, I'll be able to calculate the value of AXU, that is 188.66 mm. So now I have calculated the value of XU. Now in order to calculate MU1, I should know whether the section is balanced or under reinforced. So in order to check with that, let me compare this value of XU which is being calculated with XU max. So XU is less than XU max. If XU is less than XU max or XU limit, what we can say is that the section is under reinforced. The section is under reinforced. If the section is under reinforced, we can use the equation given in the code book, that is MU1 is equal to 0.87 Fy AST1 into D into 1 minus AST1 Fy divided by FCK B into D. This we can write. So now with this equation we can find out mu1. Now what about mu2? Mu2 is equal to FSC into ASC into D minus D dash. FSC is already been calculated, ASC is known to us, given to us, D is known, D dash is known. So we can calculate mu2 also. 1 plus mu2 gives us the value of mu, that is 160.89 kilonewton meter. 160.89 kilonewton meter. So this is how we are going to find out the moment of resistance of the rectangular beam section. So now let's proceed with the next numerical example, that is a doubly reinforced beam of width 230 mm and 600 mm total depth is reinforced with 4 bars of 16 mm diameter as compression reinforcement and 6 bars of 20 mm diameter as tension steel at an effective cover of 40 mm on both sides. Find the superimposed load. Beam is simply supported over an effective span of 6 meter. Use M20 grade concrete and Fe415 steel. So here width of the beam section is 230 mm. Total depth, that is capital D, overall depth is 600 mm. 4 bars of 16 mm diameter, it is ASC. 6 bars of 20 mm diameter, this is AST. Effective cover of, that is D dash, 40 mm on both the sides, that is both in the compression zone as well as in the tension zone. Find the superimposed load, that is live load. If beam is simply supported over an effective span of, simply supported beam, and the span is 6 meter. The span is 6 meter, that we can consider it as L, and M20 grade concrete, that is FCK, and Fe415 steel, that is Fy. So we need to calculate superimposed load, that is live load acting on the beam. We need to calculate this live load. Now let me note down the data as in the previous numerical example. B is given, that is breadth of the section, overall depth of the section. If overall depth is given, we can deduct effective depth from the effective cover from the overall depth, so that we'll be able to get the effective depth. So D minus D dash will give you the effective depth, that is 560 mm. So area of steel in compression zone is being calculated, area of steel in tension zone will be calculated. 804.2 mm square and 1884.9 mm square respectively. And now we need to calculate what? Live load. In order to calculate the live load, we need to have the moment of resistance. We need to have the moment of resistance. So how can we calculate moment of resistance now? We can calculate moment of resistance. How to calculate moment of resistance? Again, mu is equal to mu1 plus mu2. Mu is equal to mu1 plus mu2. Now let's calculate mu2 first. So in order to calculate mu2, we have the equation FSC ASC into D minus D dash. So let's calculate FSC. How to calculate FSC? 0.0035 into XU max minus D dash into XU max into ES, that is Young's modulus of steel. E is, this value has to be considered as 2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square or megapascal. 2 into 10 to the power of 5. XU max. XU max we have not yet calculated, so we can calculate the value of XU max. The type of steel here is Fe415. The type of steel is Fe415. So for Fe415, what is XU max or XU limit? It is 0.48 D. Yes, it is 0.48 D. XU max value is 0.48 D for the grade of steel 415. So substituting these values, and D dash value is already given in the numerical example, that is 40 mm. So this value, by what we are getting, the value of FSC as 595.83. We are getting the value as 595.83. But again, as I said in the previous numerical example, we need to check whether this value which we have got is or less than 0.87 Fi, because the value of FSC should never be more than 0.87 Fi. Make it a note, the value of FSC, whatever you use, it should not be more than 0.87 Fi. So let's compare the value of FSC with 0.87 Fi. 0.87 Fi is nothing but 361.05 now. So we are getting the value of FSC as 361.05, the least out of these two values. Minimum of these two values, we are going to consider it as FSC, that is 361.05 Newton per mm square. Now, once we calculate FSC, we can calculate AST2. FSC ASC divided by 0.87 Fi. ASC is already given in the numerical example. So Fi is given. FSC is being calculated. So I can calculate AST2 easily. If AST2 is being calculated, I know AST which is being given in the numerical. I can calculate AST1. I can calculate AST1 directly. So once I calculate AST1, I can use this equation in XU by D equation, that is 0.87 Fi into AST1 divided by 0.36 FCK into BD. So in this equation, if I substitute AST1, I'll be able to calculate this value of AXU. And once I calculate this XU, I can compare it with XU limit and decide which type of section it is. Now XU by D is 0.42. But what is XU limit by D? Here. Yes, we have not written, but XU limit by D for Fe415 steel is 0.48 D. So this 0.42 is less than 0.48. So the section is under reinforced. So to calculate the under reinforced section, we'll be using the equation here. This equation, mu is equal to Fi AST into D. Here AST should be written as AST1. Here also AST should be replaced with AST1 because it is the first section of doubly reinforced beam. mu1 is equal to 0.87 Fi AST1 into D into 1 minus AST1 Fy divided by FCK B into D. Using this equation, we'll be able to calculate mu1. Now, once we calculate mu1, we can calculate mu2 using the equation FSC ASC into D minus D dash. We'll be able to get mu2 value. And mu is equal to mu1 plus mu2, so which will give us this value of 331.44 kilonewton meter. gives us the value of 331.44 kilonewton meter. Now once we have the value of this moment of resistance, what I can write is the beam here, it is simply supported as given in the numerical example. It is simply supported and it is subjected to superimposed load. It is subjected to superimposed load. This superimposed load or this total load is a combination of dead load plus live load. And since the dead load, any other dead load is not given, so what we'll consider, self weight is only dead load. We'll consider that only the self weight will be dead load. So out of the total load, if we deduct the dead load or the self weight, we'll be able to get the live load or the imposed load. So what is the total load? First let me calculate that. So since it is superimposed load, we'll consider it as a UDL, that is uniformly distributed load. So what I can write is the maximum moment of the beam, simply supported beam, will be at the center, and if it is UDL, it is WUL square by 8. So what is this WU? It is the total load. MU is already being calculated. So WU is equal to 8 into MU divided by L square, where L is effective span. So we'll be getting WU equal to 73.65 kilonewton per meter. This is the total factored load. This is the total factored load. Once we get the total factored load, I can divide this value with 1.5, that is WU is known to us. So W is equal to WU divided by 1.5 safety factor, partial safety factor 1.5, which will give us 49.1 kilonewton per meter. Out of this 49.1 kilonewton per meter, we are going to deduct this dead load. This is W. So how to calculate the self weight? Self weight of the cross section. If the cross section we consider it here, this is B, this is overall depth D. So B into D into unit weight of RCC. Unit weight for RCC, that is 25. So 25 kilonewton per meter cube. So here we can write this value as 3.45 kilonewton per meter. So we can deduct this value from this 49.10 and we can get the live load or the imposed load, which is nothing but 45.65 kilonewton per meter. So this is how you are supposed to calculate the load acting on the beam. Suppose the slide changed. Instead of the superimposed load, if they would have asked you to calculate the point load acting on the beam at the center. So this UDL will be the self weight and there will be a point load here at the center. So at that time, instead of WUL square by 8, this WUL square by 8 will be for the dead load. This will be for the dead load, and for the live load, if it is a point load, what you can write is WL by 4. That is the maximum load if there is a point load. So if it is UDL, there is no problem. Both self weight as well as point load, you will be considering it as WU. UDL only, that is WUL square by 8. If there is point load, you can use the equation WL by 4, that is PL by 4 equation, which you have already used in previous semesters many a times. So this is how you are supposed to proceed with the numerical example. So the equations, we are using it from the annexure G. So annexure G is very, very important for the solutions of singly reinforced and doubly reinforced rectangular beam sections. So you should have a copy of IS 456 compulsory. So with this, we shall end up the numericals for today.